What is going on, guys? DBG here, and I'm just going to talk about this because, again, this is a MyTEAM news channel more than anything, and man, I am relieved. I'm just relieved. So, I was going, like, the way this new season's been implemented, there's been some good things, there's been some bad things. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know if I can say what we've seen so far has been a positive or it's been a negative. But look, at the end of the day, the one thing I can say is that one of my biggest fears for the season, it does not appear to be happening. Thank God. But before that, I'm just going to talk about something that I feel hasn't really gotten enough. I haven't explained it in enough detail. And I'm going to explain why I think it's not a great thing. Because again, I don't think either of these two things warrant a full video. And I think that splitting these two things up, one of them is a negative and one of them is a huge positive. So, actually, screw it. Let me talk about the huge positive first. Because, I don't know. I know it's better to talk about good thing or a bad thing first. I don't know what's the best one. But the huge positive right here. Guaranteed Trae Young. And is Trae Young going to be good? No. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. He's going to be a fun card to use. He's a player people like in real life. And he's free for just logging into the game. So what I was worried about, and in fairness, like, I said it in my video when I was complaining about the whole situation, was that it was the weekly reward. It said Trae Young. And I was just like, the only way that I could be reading into it wrong, and if it turns out that the wheel spin is for a guaranteed Trae Young, then I take back everything I said, and that is exactly what it appears to be. So it appears to be that it was a wheel spin for a guaranteed Trae Young. So every single spot on the wheel is going to be Trae Young, which is perfect, which is absolutely perfect. And some people are saying that it's guaranteed that Trae Young's on the wheel. That's not the case. Like, some people are trying to read into it saying that, no, you've just guaranteed that Trae Young's on the wheel. Everyone gets the same wheel. It is a guaranteed Trae Young. Like, the way it was initially worded in the dev blog made it seem like Trae Young was just going to be on the wheel, because I read back into the original 2K20 dev blog was the last time they really mentioned what was going to be on the spin the wheel. And what they said was basically for Steve, spin the wheel for Steve Nash. It's whatever way they worded it. They basically worded it almost the same way as Trae Young was worded. So that is why, like, even looking back, and it wasn't even an initial reaction, I was still very worried about Trae Young. But it's a huge positive, because we're getting a free dark mat. We're getting a free 99 overall every week. We're getting 6 or 5 free 99 overalls. Like, look, there are bad things about this season. There are definite bad things about this season. There are definite things that aren't going to be implemented well. There's going to be good and there's going to be bad things for every season in MyTEAM. But this is good. This is a really, really good thing that 2K are doing. So, that was the good. Now we're on to the bad. And I have to give my specific reasoning for why this is so bad, because a lot of people are not looking into this deeply enough, and they're not realizing how bad it's going to become. So, basically, it's about the Luka grind. And I'm just going to say this right now. If you are somebody that plays this game more than 6 hours a week, this does not apply to you. And when I mean that, you play 6 hours every week. Not you might play 1 hour one week and 6 hours or 8 hours the next week, and not an average. If you play this game, if you boot up this game every day, this doesn't apply to you. If you play this game every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you only play on weekends, this doesn't apply to you. But, well, it doesn't necessarily apply to you, but it does at the same time. So, 2K, 9 months into the game cycle, they decide to change up the XP, so that you can now only get XP for cards while they're in packs. So as soon as the cards are out of packs, you can't get XP for them. And we all know that a lot of the cards' value is based on XP. So for example, like these lower overall players don't really matter that much. Look, you can get Luka Doncic, but let's just say, for example, Charles Oakley, who's like 22 KMT or something. People are buying, no one's using Charles Oakley for Charles Oakley. People are literally just buying and selling their Charles Oakleys, and they're buying and selling Charles Oakleys realistically just to get the XP. Unless you're the biggest Knicks fan or you want to use like an early MJ Bulls team, you're not going to be using Charles Oakley in your team because he's probably not as good as Channing Frye in game. And that's the thing. What'll end up happening is, let's just say if he keeps his value up at 18k, the second his XP vanishes, he goes down to 9k MT. But then they release a new batch of players. There's going to be a new batch of players in packs. And they're going to have, say, double the value that they should because of XP. And it's that cycle. So all of these players are going to take a huge hit in price the second they're out of packs. So for all these guys right here, they're going to take a massive hit in price as soon as they are out of packs. And you might be saying, oh, that's great because the cards are going to drop. It means I can pick them up at a later date. That's not what that's not the purpose of what this is. So basically what the purpose is let's just say you start off, just hypothetical situation, you start off with 100,000 MT. And with 100,000 MT, you are able to buy 3 Galaxy Opals, 5 Pink Diamonds, and 3 Diamonds. Let's just say week 1. 100k MT will be able to buy you that. You finish all their XP, you sell all those guys back, and you might lose, let's just say 12, 13k in tax. Whatever about that. This is the way it had been previously. You lose like 12, 13k in tax, and then the next, you could probably earn that 10, 12k, and the next week 100k will probably get you the same batch of cards, and that was a way of doing XP quite on the cheap. But now, 100k gets you those cards initially, but if you hold on to any of those cards past the second they are out of packs, instead of being able to sell them back for somewhat similar value to what you bought them at, it will half in price. So all of a sudden, instead of you being, say, tax or a little bit more than tax, instead of you needing like 15k to work your way back up to getting the same batch of players the next week for XP, you suddenly need 60k, which if you're not playing the game, which you're not going to be able to do. So what is it doing? It is depreciating the value of cards quicker than ever before. So people are more inclined, every card you get is losing value quicker than ever before. And 2K are making it lose value quicker than ever before. And also, if, for example, you come in week 4 of the season, you're screwed. I'm sorry, if you come in week 4 of the season, you are screwed. You're not getting Luka. So, like, what I initially thought, what I said was great, was that I thought it was a really positive when it came to this Luka grind, that people have got Luka already, by the way. People are going to get Luka in the next 3 or 4 days. Even people who didn't get the, what was it, the bribe, the XP bribe of getting 1,000 XP, or 1,000 tokens to basically get the level 40 award. Even people who didn't get that are going to get it next week. Like, it's really, really easy. Again, I spent an hour on it, 15k. Like, it is very, very easy, and I haven't even done the easiest challenges yet. So, like, if you are someone even like me, you can genuinely get this done so easily. Like, you can half-ass through the season. You can play 2 hours on a Friday of XP grinding for 6 weeks, and you'll get Luka Doncic. No question about it, you're going to get Luka Doncic. I'm telling you that for a fact. But, there is a but. If you, for example, are on a 3-week vacation, and you come back, all of a sudden, you can't even do any of the old XP, you can't play catch-up, and not even if you're on a 3-week vacation, if you just decide, you know what, I want to take a break from the game for a couple of weeks, you can't play catch-up anymore. And it's again, the catch-up factor is basically the same as my biggest problem with MyTEAM Limited, where if you don't get ahead early, you're kind of screwed. Well, not if you don't get ahead early. If you don't get your ring in week 1, there's no point even playing the game mode anymore. Like, that's my biggest problem with MyTEAM Limited this year. But with this, I'm just kind of annoyed that you're going to want to get Luka ASAP does not appear to be like a new thing. It just actually appears to be that we're now making it so that every single XP challenge for the season is in limited time. Like, I don't know. I don't see, there's no, I'm going to say this right now. You can't argue this is a positive. If you want to sit there and, if you want to argue that this isn't that big of a deal, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine if you want to say that this isn't that big of a deal. Because for me personally, it's not. Like, I'm going to complete all these challenges today. The ones up to probably Fry. And maybe complete 1 or 2 of the opals. But for me, it's irrelevant. I'm going to get Luca anyway. I'm going to have Luca by like week 4. And Luca's going to be one of my best players. So I'm happy with that. And the funny thing is that this doesn't make the grind more difficult. And a lot of people, when I complained about it, said you just want the card to be easy. The card still, Luca is still easy. Luca is still very much easy. But 2K, again, they're not even rewarding people for doing the challenges. Because whether you do the challenges late in the year, or late in the season, or at the start of the season, I don't think it should make any odds. Like, I really don't. Like, if one person decides to spread out their grind and play 1 hour a day, or one person decides on a Sunday to play 7 hours, it's still 7 hours is 7 hours. I don't think you should be punished. Obviously, hypothetical situation, that doesn't make a difference in this scenario. You should say if one person wants to play 1 hour a day for 14 days, and one person wants to play like 14 days, or for this one specific grind, wants to grind it all in 1 day, the latter person shouldn't be punished in any way other than they're just not getting it as quick. And that's why I like this so much, because you could, if you wanted to really grind, if you wanted to spend the tokens, you could get Luca super quick. As in, you can get him already. But if you didn't, it seemed like 2-3 weeks down the line, it would take less time to do it. So more time, more money equals get the card quicker is the trade-off. Being more patient equals get the card easier. So I really liked it, and I talked about how it was such a positive. In the end, it's just not a positive. This is either a negative, because it depreciates cards faster for a lot of people. For me, again, I'm smart about this. I don't buy expensive cards, so this doesn't really make a difference for me. But for example, if you're someone who's buying like a Klay Thompson or something for these XP challenges, don't be surprised if Klay Thompson goes to 90k at the end of this week. He's like 180k right now. It's just cards are gonna depreciate quicker, so that is a negative. The fact that if you decide, you know what, I just want to switch off, I want to either go on a vacation or I don't want to play the game for a week, you are basically putting yourself at a huge handicap. The MyTEAM limited problem, and there is no benefit to it. There is no benefit to limited time challenges. So I don't see why they brought it in. Actually, I do see why they brought it in. Because because value of cards depreciating equals people have less MT, people's MT gets drained quicker, and people buy VC. So I know why they've done it, and I think they're going to change it. I don't think they're going to change it. I think someone came up with this concept, and I think that they realized that it's a way of making them more money. But at the end of the day, it's not. It is objectively not a good thing that they've put limited time challenges. You cannot argue that it's a good thing. You can either argue that it's not that big of a deal, it's bad, but it's not that big of a deal, or you can have my argument that it's just making stuff worse for the player for the sake of it. For the sake of getting their money. Like, it's what 2K have done all the time for years. They will make something in the game inconvenient for a player for no reason other than to try drain them for money into buying VC. There is something that will work perfectly fine. They will break it to try get you to buy VC. Instead of making the game better for the players and thinking we're going to make it a better experience and maybe then people will be more inclined to put money in, they're actively making certain things a worse experience and thinking we're going to make it a worse experience so that they have to spend money. And that's where I have a big problem with all this. That is the route that they're going down, and it's the route that 2K keep going down. So anyway, yeah, that's just pretty much the video. Is it a big deal? Look, I'm gonna get Luca anyway. It doesn't really matter. I'm taking my time on Luca. I'm in no rush. I'm not anyone saying that, oh, I'm just complaining because it's less easy. It doesn't make a difference. Like, it's equally as easy, because I'm gonna any challenge I was ever going to complete, I'm gonna complete within 6 days anyway. It's not like it makes any odds for me. And again, the Vince Carter grind was harder than this Luca grind, and I praised the Vince Carter grind. I don't think there was anything wrong with the Vince Carter grind, even though it is definitely more difficult than this Luca grind. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.